Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of About Our World. As you can see, I've finally got some production value. I have a mic, and I'm recording in 1080p. No more of that 720p garbage. Today's our third species profile. The largest birds alive today, Ratites. The word ratite comes from the Latin word ratus, which means raft, a vessel with no keel, similar to how ratites' breastbones also lack a keel. Ratites are a group of birds that belong to the infraclass Paleognathai. This infraclass includes ostriches, order Struthionoformes, emus and cassowaries, order Cassowariiformes, rheas, order Rheiiformes, kiwis, order Aterigiformes, and tinamo, order Tinamoniformes. Ratites come in three different shapes: tall like an ostrich, small and round like a kiwi, or in between like a tinamo. And no, kiwi doesn't refer to the fruit. It refers to this tiny bird with a long beak that looks almost like Zapdos. Am I the only one who sees it? Maybe. Let's just start with the tall ones. Ostriches, emus, cassowaries, and rheas all have a very similar body structure, though the cassowary is the most different from the rest. They all have long, robust legs for running, a mat of feathers on their large humped bodies, and a long neck with a relatively similar beak shape. The cassowary is different from the rest because of the presence of a wattle and crest on the males. A similar body shape evolved earlier in a group of dinosaurs in the Cretaceous called ornithomimosaurs. By looking at this artist's rendition, you can see how similar we believe these animals to have been. By looking at the skeleton of an ornithomimus compared to that of an ostrich, this becomes even more apparent. Ornithomimus kind of looks like a more robust ostrich that is more horizontally oriented and has a tail. The traits like the long legs and neck, small head, and theropod stance make these families of dinosaurs very similar. Same goes for oviraptorids. However, this doesn't mean that Ratites' closest non-avian dinosaur relatives are oviraptorids or ornithomimosaurs. These non-avian dinosaurs are equally as related to songbirds and owls as they are to Ratites. They just share similar convergently evolved traits. Now let's move on to our first oddball, the kiwi. Kiwi are truly odd birds. They're nothing like their cousins, instead being chicken-sized balls of fuzz. However, whether you believe it or not, kiwis are ratites. They have similarly robust legs, but lack the same size and beak shape of their cousins. Surprisingly though, they're closely related to the largest bird to ever walk the earth. Finally, let's take a look at the tinamo. Though they're not always considered ratites because they can indeed fly, they're part of the same infraclass, so I'll count them in this video. Tinamo kind of look like small emus, but they look much more like pheasants, so much so that if I saw one, I'd probably think it was a pheasant. However, you can still sort of see the ratite ancestry in them. Speaking of ratite ancestry, back in the mid-Cretaceous, all of the southern continents are part of one supercontinent called Gondwana. This included India and Antarctica, but most importantly for ratites, South America, Africa, and Australia. These are the three continents where ratites are found today. They likely originated as flighted birds in what will become South America, and migrated to the regions where they live today shortly after the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs. In these regions, they all independently evolved flightlessness and similar body structures. All except the kiwi. What is very curious though is the fact that the kiwi's closest extinct relative is the Madagascar elephant bird, aka the largest bird to ever exist. The elephant bird stood 10 feet tall and weighed up to 1,000 pounds, or even up to 1,700 pounds according to a recent study. There were also giant ratites like New Zealand's moa, which stood 12 feet tall but weighed only up to 510 pounds. And that's really it for ancestors and relatives. I can show you the cladogram. Those are the only two families of extinct ratites we know of right now. When I started scripting this video, I thought there'd be more interesting information about them, being the largest birds today and all, but I couldn't really find much. So, I guess I'll see you next week.